Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we have two quarterbacks who love to make game-changing plays. It's Richard Sherman going up against Patrick Peterson. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth. So we turn it over to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. And hello again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton here in the booth. And, Chuck, you take a look at this matchup. I don't know if it's going to be one in the trenches from the quarterbacks out, whatever. It's going to be a good game.
Oh, without a doubt. I can't wait to see the big fellas have an impact. We're always spotlighting those wide receivers and quarterbacks and running backs and even the defensive backs. But the big guys, I can't wait to see which one tilts the balance for their team.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The quarterback is Russell Wilson, and he leads the Seahawks offense out onto the field. And they're looking for offense because in Week 2 against the Rams, they can only muster a field goal.
Remember, they only scored 12 points in Week 1 and barely got past Miami at home. But Russell Wilson, a high ankle sprain, it was reported. Most people thought there was no way he could play last week and somehow found his way out onto the field. Not at 100% and actually lost a fumble during the game.
Now Wilson on first down. And right away, he lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10.
No matter what play call you have on, you're always conscious of edge pressure disrupting you. And it doesn't matter whether it's a pass or a run. And in this case, it was a draw, and the edge pressure came in and destroyed the play.
He's got Curse. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
Now Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
They go play fake to Michael. Now Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it'll be 4th down.
Let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offense guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? guard the first down line, make sure they don't get there, and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
And not great starting field position here for the offense.
Let's go.
Throwing now, Palmer on first down. And incomplete to open things up. That one was intended for John Brown. And it'll be 2nd and 10. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
Here we go. Blue 95.
2nd and 10. It's Palmer again. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. I know it's going to become a tired story very soon. David Johnson played wide receiver first at Northern Iowa before he became a running back. But those skills have translated very well in the NFL because he runs it really well, but being able to split him out of the backfield and throw it to him, that leads to over 100 yards from scrimmage just about every week.
And it did in their Week 2 win, 143 yards combined in those two areas of rushing and receiving. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. A very solid gain of 27.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
Such a presence, Carson Palmer.
Very much so. Has had it ever since he entered campus there and still has it today.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Second down now after the incompletion.
Let's go.
2nd and 10. It's Palmer again. And he can't get away from the pressure. Palmer are sacked. K.J. Wright from his outside linebacker spot. He comes up to drop him for a loss of 10.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
And as a defender, if you go with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that. But to have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
Now a play fake here on first down. Deep drop. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah, can he put it aside? Let's find out. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
He's going to air one out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Another pistol look here. Here's Palmer to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Holding offense. The penalty is declined.
Now Drew Butler to punt for Arizona, the son of former Bears kicker Kevin Butler. Back deep for the Seahawks, the all-pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. Returnable for Lockett. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
The emergence of Thomas Rawls out of Central Michigan, chalk one up for the scouting department of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year averaged 5.6 yards per. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped foot.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Golden. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
And the Cardinals offense here ready to take over. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the score. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, he's back, and it's nothing short of incredible. Tyrann Mathieu got hurt late in the season in 2015, an ACL injury. Came back after the surgery and started game 1 against New England. Now, what they're doing with him early in the season is they're playing him at free safety, deep and back away from the ball. As he gets more confidence in his knee and gets back right, he'll be back close to the line of scrimmage again, making those honey badger plays.
And this defense, this secondary has been good. Past 2 years, 5 pick sixes, number 1 in the NFL in that span.
That's why they call themselves the no-fly zone.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He's got time. Look at the time. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And the Seahawks defense working their way back out onto the field. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They go play action here on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 2 veterans there. Palmer to Fitzgerald. 45 yards.
And there's another one of those incredible highlight reel catches. One-handed, deep downfield, another big completion. I know this, partner. As a defender, I don't know how you avoid watching what they do. It's everywhere. All the highlight shows, watching it on Madden, trying not to get intimidated before you go out and have to play against these guys and try and stop them.
Play action. It's Palmer. His throw caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald, 36 yards. And the Cardinals are in for 6. That was a nice little setup there off play action for the long touchdown pass.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, it brings back bad memories for a guy like me as a former defensive back, because in a playbook I knew a long time ago, we described that play pattern as draw pass 9 go, meaning fly pattern after the play action pass, trying to hit him for the deep ball, and boy, were they successful on that one. So tough because his speed is so great, you've got to make sure you don't miss any cues or keys in order to try and keep up with him.
Draw pass 9 go. That's still a nightmare to this day.
Yeah, I still wake up in the middle of the night and feel the guy going past me.
Tyler Lockett now with a return. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
10 yards still left on second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. 10 yards to go on third.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Ellington. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great play there. 88 yards. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
Catanzaro now for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Cardinals now heading out to defend. They sure didn't get a whole lot of rest. They had the 3 and out, forced a punt, but that's returned for a touchdown, so they're on the field quickly.
So they're cheering. They're happy. They like what they saw.
They're like, oh, I got to go get my helmet.
But it is a quick turnaround, so we'll see how they handle that on this possession.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And an alley to run. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see that sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal.
Partner, we've been lucky enough over the years to watch Richard Sherman work out in practice, training camps, and I always come back to one thing. The intelligence in which he plays his position, Because he knows what he wants to get done and what offenses can do to him, he takes very few false steps and is almost always in great position to knock the ball away, as we just saw there. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They come out here in the I. Palmer's going to keep, and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Carson Palmer with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cardinals, so they went for it from the 1 on 4th and goal, and they got it done.
Is this the new NFL?
This is the new NFL.
This is the updated NFL, and I like it. I know that quarterbacks across the league have spent the entire offseason and even during the season lobbying their coaches to go for it more on 4th down. Let's go get it. Because nowadays, you've got to score points to win games in the NFL. You can't just rely on your defense to hold them.
I think the quarterbacks want to eliminate field goals inside of 30 yards, probably.
Well, listen, they have enough confidence in themselves that they can call plays and make plays that they won't need those field goals inside the 30.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On 2nd down, Rawls. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass block.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frosty Rucker in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Ellington now to return it. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They give him a gain of 38.
This bad enough watching all the highlight reels, watching guys in warm-ups, going up and making these incredible one-handed acrobatic catches. But when it happens right in front of you, when you're defending him, that just makes your day that much longer, and you just wonder, how are we ever going to cover these guys?
And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Here we go. Blue 58.
So now it's 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
They come out here in the eye. On 3rd and goal, Palmer. Palmer's hit, fumble. He loses the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. He's going to sling this deep downfield and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. On 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Corey Peters in there to drop it for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Here's John Ryan now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's pulled in at the 32. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Palmer will throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
Pass interference call. Charles, you were a defender. You know how hard it is to defend the pass without committing this penalty.
And if they would let them play with a little bit more contact to give the defender a better chance, we wouldn't have nearly as many flags.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
With that kind of loss of yards, that is usually an error by the guy carrying the ball. At the 1-yard line, You can't get too fancy there. You just got to try and plow forward and get what you can.
It's just a disaster. You go back to the 6 after you were at the 1.
So difficult to fit in a pass when Richard Sherman's in the area because of his length. He's able to make a play on the football even late and knock it away, and that's exactly what he did there. And this guy, all-pro, last year only a Pro Bowler because other people had big years. Maybe it's because his interception numbers went down. He only had 2 last year, but I don't know if that's just him or if people are avoiding the heck out of him to make sure he doesn't make big plays. You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away, and that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Partnered through 2 weeks of the season, what have you thought of the rookie quarterbacks? You know, what made me think of that, Jared Goff did dress last week. Obviously didn't play, but he was on the sideline. But what have you thought of some of the rookie quarterback play?
Well, I'm just going to start with Jared Goff because so many people are wondering, hey, how come he's not out there? Well, listen, Carson Palmer, remember when he got drafted #1 overall? Sat for an entire year in Cincinnati. Had to learn the ropes. So sometimes that happens. You bring him along a little bit slower. But Dak Prescott, I'm incredibly impressed with. Not just the poise, but the playmaking ability. And he has Dallas at 1-1 right now. Jacoby Brissett had to come in and play for New England after Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt. Led them to a touchdown drive, and they hung on and won against Miami. And Carson Wentz, the learning curve continues for the rookie quarterback in Philadelphia.
It's taken to the 26. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Play action. Now Palmer. He's going to look deep down the field. And now this one's intercepted. A third interception for Palmer. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
Well, Brandon, there are so many weapons in this receiving corps, but I think Carson still wants to look in number 11's direction anytime he can. I would, too, with Larry's track record. Sometimes, though, that's not a high-percentage play. And sure enough, this one gets intercepted.
And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Final play of the half. It's Wilson surveying the field. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Cardinals are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Seahawks won't panic either. They know they just need to take it 1 play at a time. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Ryan's punting it away. Ellington's back for the punt, and he's gone as he sprints to the end zone. Cardinals go up by 11. Now after the fumble, with plenty of pressure this half and another sack. This will go as a loss of 10. with that, we'll wrap up our halftime report. Head back out now to University of Phoenix Stadium for the start of the second half.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Get ready. 1-18.
On second down, Johnson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
1-18. 1-18.
Palmer now to throw on third down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Here's Drew Butler now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Kevin Minter in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
12 yards to go on third down. From the gun on third down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And good to see Jimmy back out there moving okay after the ruptured patella in Week 12 last year. You've dealt with that injury, haven't you?
I have, and let me tell you, you know that expression, I feel your pain? I felt Jimmy's when it happened. Now, mine didn't happen quite the same way his did. His happened in the line of duty. He was playing in a game. For me, I was just coaching and went up to try and catch a pass. Poof. I think for me, it was just mainly age. For him, he was actually playing.
But good to see him back out there healthy. They come out here in the eye. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
First down, this is Rawls. And a loose football. Rawls loses it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he cuts left, and he's got an alley. And they bring this one back. A scoop and score. A fumble recovery touchdown for Arizona. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower postgame. Point after now from Catanzaro. And that'll increase their lead to 28. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Okay, let's talk rookies here while we have a second. Who's impressed you through the first couple weeks of the new guys?
Well, a decent number of players, but I'm going to down focus a little bit here, okay? Because we've talked about the rookie quarterbacks. Dak Prescott in Dallas being one of them. But don't forget the runner, Ezekiel Elliott. He's really starting to come on. And then flip it over to the defensive side. The San Francisco 49ers have played pretty tough in the first couple of weeks. DeForest Buckner out of Oregon, he's doing a really nice job on the defensive side.
Now, Corey Coleman, Will Fuller, a couple guys on the offensive side switching it back there. They've been really good.
They know how to find the end zone, don't they? They get there, and they get there in a hurry.
One of the newer Cardinals picked up from New England, Chandler Jones. In there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Here's John Ryan now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And our attention shifts here to the Seahawks defense. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3-and-out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3-and-outs, it's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here. See if they can force another 3-and-out. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. 4 down. Let's go.
And Palmer gives to Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Let's go, let's go.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Get ready. Blue 58. Right there. Blue 58. Hang on, he's there for you.
Palmer gives to Johnson on the draw. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Ataba Rubin makes the stop.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The play clock's running down. Again, it's Johnson. And some space here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
All right, now. 1-18. 1-18.
Time running out here on the play clock. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd down now after the pass completion.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
7 yards on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. 3 down.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Completes it to Lawler. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot, and that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He's got Curse. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. And now they're in the hurry-up. Wilson. It's caught outright by Graham. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Seattle first. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 7 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Throwing again here, Wilson. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And the lead is down to 24. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. Oh, I think the Seahawks got it. They did. It's Seattle football. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are two very tough things to do.
It takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. It's a gain of 17 that time. And the Seahawks are going to have a first down. And they're going to speed things up here. On first down, Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Wilson. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Two receivers left, one to the right. Now Wilson on second down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line.
Get ready.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And, partner, we always talk about winning. Everybody wants to win. A divisional win, why is this one so important?
Because at the end of the year, Brandon, you have to determine who's going to move on to the playoffs. And sometimes it's not the overall record that takes you there. It's how did you do in the division. If you're tied, if it's close, the divisional winner, the team that has the best record within its own division, will be the team that wins the tiebreaker and moves on.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.